the World Wide Web. So it's Cypher Sigma here. It's a Wednesday and it is a look what I've been watching. So we're up to episode 64. So thank you all for carrying on coming along to see basically what I've been watching this past week. So anybody who's new, basically whatever I've watched from the past 7 days, so from the previous episode to this episode, I will showcase and just tell you a little bit about it. It's all physical media, so this week I have watched Atlas and the new Axel Foley films, but I won't cover them. This is what I have been covering, so a fair bit. It always does vary depending on what my life or social life is like and stuff, and I was going reverse order, so we shall get into it. So this is going to be a little confusing. So this, I believe, is Die Another Day. So this is the last Pierce Brosnan movie, so I got the 3 of the 4, everything except GoldenEye from, I believe, AJ. So good updates. So it was good to see James Bond. Obviously, I watched them kind of in the normal order, except for GoldenEye. I'm not sure if I have GoldenEye. That's something I'll have to look up. But I did quite enjoy Pierce Brosnan, as I've said in previous videos and other chats and stuff. He is kind of, or as I see, as James Bond, because he's who I grew up with. Obviously, I know the older ones, Roger Moore, Sean Connery, and all this stuff. You know, they are good actors and stuff, and I do enjoy their Bond movies, but Bond isn't necessarily my go-to. But yeah, that was a Die Another Day. Then we have The World Is Not Enough. Obviously the previous one. This one was okay. I mean, a little bit predictable in place. I think that's the Saw and that you see and stuff. I think GoldenEye kind of was the early stuff was my favourite. I mean, I did like this. I did think the bad guy was quite cool as well. Then to build up from a conversation that me and AJ had for discussing a brand, obviously we spoke about He-Man, and obviously he let me know that there was a movie that I was unaware of, so I went out, bought it and watched it. So this is quite good. So it seems like it's 2 stories. It's actually, you get the crossover between these, so this is what is essentially the movie, and then you have the Christmas special on top of it. This is kind of the introduction of She-Ra, and obviously she has been kidnapped by Hordak when she was a child, which is kind of the story the comic follows, but obviously I was never aware of this, so not to know that comic story was linked. Then obviously finally we have Tomorrow Never Dies, so the first one that I watched. I quite enjoyed it. Terry Hatcher is in it. Never realised she got killed off quite quickly, and obviously the bad guy is the spy from Jumpin' Jack Flash. These are the ones that come back to me. I did thought they were quite good, quite funny in places with him mocking the karate and very bad CG, but it was just enjoyable action-packed kind of storyline that James Bond is. He's always bold and above, and I know Daniel Craig went a little bit different way, which I did enjoy his movies, but they just don't kind of make these sort of movies anymore. So then we get into the final 2. So first we have this. So this is Dragon Ball Z's Superhero, which is funny. So this is the latest movie. I saw this at the cinema, and obviously it features two androids called Gamma 1 and Gamma 2. And the thing that always throws me, and even when I bought this, that they don't have any showing of them. This is more Gohan, obviously super powered, and Piccolo. Piccolo obviously is my favourite character. My mate always refers to me as him because he's quite broad and stuff like this, or I was when we were kids or teenagers. And yeah, I still think this is a great movie. They use animated kind of cell shading as the whole environment stuff, and that is a bit different from the 2D animation drawing that they used to do. They did a load of games, and I think they've kind of taken the style from the game into this, and actually it works really, really well, because with Japanese, especially when they do animation and stuff, they put so much care and attention to it. It actually works really, really well. You all know that this is a very bone of my, obviously a very hot subject when it comes to me, because I've done art. I do drawings from time to time. I am a big anime fan and animation fan, and I said, but really lovely to have this. So this will go with the Dragon Ball stuff up there, running a little bit out of space. And then we have the final one. So flying through these quite quick. So this is Smallville season 10. I didn't watch Smallville season 1 to 9 leading up to this. I watched them many years ago. I never ever got to watch this series, but I did pick it up really cheap. It's been on my list, or my target for this year is to finish a lot of series that I never did, and this was one of them. And I opted because I remembered so much, especially of like the first 4 or 5 series, so frequent, and I remember bits of 7 and 8, and with Doomsday, and then a little bit. I must admit, rewatching this, there isn't much of 9 I recall because I didn't think it was that great. 8 I did because it was obviously Doomsday and you have Sam Witwer in it and that. But wanted to see how this ended. So I put it on. Within a few episodes, you were definitely getting back into that Smallville feeling, and I really enjoyed it from start to finish. Obviously, they took a different direction from season 7 onwards, because obviously the original people left, and obviously a lot of the main, like Kristen Kirkdonovan returns for this. Michael Rosenberg returns for the final episode and stuff, and the series is kind of, and I can't remember too much. The series is very much scattered. Oh, it's this person, they bring this person in, and obviously they had Blue Beetle, which obviously we've recently had a film for, and it seemed a little bit disconjointed. Like there wasn't as much emphasis, I think, on the main character or the main bad guy, and kind of leading up to it, it was very much kind of throw this idea in there, throw this idea, throw this in this, and then he kind of puts on the cape, which you kind of see but you don't, which I think is a bit of a shame. But it did kind of feel like with the same feeling and same memories that I have of Smallville, it did kind of fit in there, even though it had been probably like 10 years since I'd last probably sat down and watched an episode of Smallville in its entirety. And I say I did enjoy it, and I did think it was a good ending. Whether I think it great or not is basically up in the air, because obviously having watched 1 to 9 when they came out and never getting round to watching 10, and then having Arrow and Supergirl and everything else, it's then hard to go back and kind of rewind everything, because obviously Green Arrow is in this, but he's no Stephen Amell and stuff like this, but he has his own thing, and it's hard to some kind of distinguish. And I think if I'd watched a few more series, I probably would have been more engrossed, or even watched it from the get-go. I think I would enjoy it, and it still is quite a solid, good series. It's a shame Tom Welling hasn't done too much outside of this. But great to have this in the collection. Finally finish it, more than anything. So yes, this has been a look what I've been watching. Is there anything here that you would recommend? Is there anything here that I've been watching that maybe you think, oh, he's been watching those and he would really like that? Please let me know in the comments down below. Otherwise, I've been Cypher Sigma Screen Time. This is Look What I've Been Watching 64, and I shall see you in the next one.